I love winter. And no, not just because it's time for family, friends, partners, giving and sharing and lights, but because of the way that biting air feels on my skin and in my lungs that makes me feel so alive. There is truly nothing else like it. So today, with what little snow we seem to get nowadays, I had no choice but to enjoy it as much as I can with a long, full day out in the woods with nothing but a camera, some lunch, and the crunch of untouched snow under my boots. Fortunately, I knew just the place for that. Unfortunately, the day started like this. The whole drive was perfectly sunny. And then you get to, it feels like I'm coming to like slay a witch coven or something. It got super cloudy and snowy. The whole drive was sunny. There was a beautiful sunrise. I was hoping to get some light to walk in this morning, and it's snowing, and here we are. So a little bit different, but it also says it feels like -1 right now. It feels like -1. So I'm bundled up. But with that said, welcome everybody to Pinchot State Forest. This is kind of near one of the only places that you can primitive camp. And by that I mean there's not really anywhere to set up a tent except the designated spots anyways. But because it's a state forest in Pennsylvania, you can technically primitive camp. So I've come here a few times. I came here once on July 4th weekend in 2022 and got Lyme's disease. I came here the next year with my buddy, who you've seen in some of the other videos, and it rained the entire first day. And the next day was nice though. But it's a true Pennsylvania place. But there's some good photographic opportunities. Again, I did not expect this weather. The light might not be with us, but I wanted to get out here. I wanted to be grateful for some things in life. I need that right now. So that's what we're doing, and I am certainly grateful to be out here. We'll see if that stays true. Then. Gonna do the South Loop. We follow a creek for a little while, but drive was okay. 45 minutes after sunrise, now that you can tell, and here we are. So let's get to it. And if anyone is new to the channel and confused about this hat, I don't think I explained it in any other video. This is the mascot of the supermarket in Iceland. I want it. This is basically the one souvenir that I brought back besides videos. So that's who that is. I'm gonna see if I brought my other hat because I don't want to be seeing this while I'm editing, and you probably don't want to be seeing that guy the whole time either. Maybe you do, he's pretty cool, but I don't know his name. I don't think he has a name, he's just the bonus pig. So unfortunately the first part of this, which I knew going into it was going to be on a road for probably about a mile, to be honest. I need to cut across to be able to get to the start of the South Loop without going north first. And there we are. That's the swamp trail though. So that'll do it. In we go. What a beautiful tree. Now the only problem is, if it doesn't kill me, that'll be a bigger problem, but as much as I love the Pennsylvania forest, everything is so dense and complicated. Particularly compared to my inspiration, which is typically like British YouTubers or going to Snowdonia or going up to the Highlands and stuff like that. And everywhere here is so cluttered. The forests are so cluttered, all the wilderness is so cluttered, which is beautiful in its own right. This is so amazing to be out here, but it does make for tough photography situations. But what a beautiful tree. There's another thing about this place is, as you saw the name, it was Gensler Swamp Trail, I believe, and in the summer this is a swamp. It is mucky, but right now it's crisp. You can hear the crunch of the ice below. It's smooth sailing. I don't have to walk on the sides. Hopefully my foot doesn't get absolutely soaked by something underneath, but it's been cold the last few days, so hopefully everything in terms of that is going to be just fine. So this is a very nice change of pace for this area. Okay. I just spoke way, way too soon. My socks didn't really get wet, but out here in this weather, that is no bueno. I gotta be careful, actually. Well, on the flip side is the good news is whatever gets wet freezes basically instantly. So that's good. So I hear all the wind above me going crazy. But we're nice and good down here. So I think we're making good time. To be honest, I don't know when we'll finish though. I'm not sure how much of the trail I'll do or cut across the service roads, which is a bit of a shortcut. But once we're done with the photo stuff, it's pretty much a blitz back to the car. There's not much to see between there and that. This field is one I was kind of aware of. It's cool. It's a separate little, you kind of come down and swoop right here. Just quick little preview of this. Well, it might be a boulder field or just sort of brush field. I can't see me at all. Well, it might just be this sort of brush field in out here. Really neat. I'm gonna walk around a little bit and see if there's any photographic opportunities out here. The sun is behind it, snow's blowing. So I've just come across this tree out in this barren shrubland. Interesting spot. Gonna see if I can go handheld. It's so bright out. But let's see if there's anything that can exist with this. The way the light bounces off of the shrublands. No, I don't think so. Unbalanced, nothing to motivate it, kind of gets obscured by the trees in the background. But despite what I thought there, I'm pretty happy with this shot. But I also didn't expect to get anything out here, so pack this away. My foot just got wet again. Yeah, that's slushy. We're gonna move on. And yeah, keep moving. And it is so windy out in this field. Woo! Oh, it's so windy. There's a little, I think a cat was out here. There's little cat paw prints. Wait, look. Oh, little kitty. Woo! I'm gonna get you. All right, new change of plans. There's cats that need to be pet. They're out here somewhere. We are on him. Or it could be a very, look at that. Woo! That's beautiful. Do not get me wrong, I am so thankful and happy to be out here today. With everything going on, I really needed this. But this is what I mean about North America is it's so cluttered, beautiful. Stream, frozen stream right there, sunlight pouring in through the evergreens. The wind is picking up. It is just the most beautiful scene, if it chooses to focus back there. The most beautiful scene you could imagine. But very few photographic opportunities, I think. There's a meandering creek that moves along right here. In fact, maybe I should try and get a photo of that, I think. I like that a lot. So I'm gonna try and get a photo of it. Beautiful, beautiful little creek here. The light dappling through. Some of it's frozen, some of it's not. Let me see if you can zoom in to see a little bit of that there. Some of it frozen, some of it not. Beautiful, picturesque, beautiful American scene. You'd see this in a museum somewhere if it were a painting. And that's what we try to do with photography, is a very quick painting that takes 1% of the time, probably less. Oh man, that polarizer, I hope this doesn't really get me. If I can get across, which I think I can. This is beautiful angle. Sun's coming in. It's hitting just this tiny bit of ice here. This little stream of running water surrounded by frozen ice. I really want to be more deliberate about my photography, which I am a little bit. I'm being picky. I'm not stopping at every chance I get. But I also can't help stopping at a good stream. So thank you for indulging me. I won't be able to do that forever. I want to figure something out a little better. I'm hoping in the scenes that I'm hoping to move up to in just a few hours here, that I have some sceneries in mind, particularly one specific tree that I'm really interested in. I've never brought a camera. I've seen it twice over the years. I've never brought a camera to it. I think with the snow around it, it'll be really interesting. Hopefully the sunlight helps me out here. Middle of winter, almost permanent golden hour in a way. So we'll see what happens from there. So I'm not sure totally how it happened, but got a little bit turned around at the, ended up on that dotted line, the black dotted line. And now we're gonna keep following it. As you can see, this is actually how I kind of got ticks 2 years ago. I was trying to take a shortcut, but as you can see, it meanders all the way to the right and then back. But that black dotted line is this service road. So, gonna shut the camera off for now. Gonna keep moving so that we make good time. This is the area that we've pretty much come here for. So on the southern rim of the southern trail of Pinchot State Forest here, I don't know if this is still technically the Gensler Swamp Trail, but this is Choke Creek. I wish I had my drone to show you and get an overlook, but very beautiful meandering. I love it in the summer. I was positive, and it looks like that I'm correct, that this is a beautiful, beautiful spot in the winter. Hoping to just, beautiful day out in the woods, try and get some photography that's worthy of it. I wish I had the drone with me. I know it's a bit of a cheap shot, but it also works and it's really fun. I also wish I had my polarizer. That's really frustrating, especially for stuff like this. Couldn't find it this morning. Basically decided to do this at 6:15, kinda, so I packed within 15 minutes and got on the road. But I am trying to frame up a composition here, potentially using that bit of ice that's floating just in the middle there. Wondering if a frame works here. No, nothing special. I'm gonna turn the camera around though and see if that might do something. Let me pick up the pack here. There is just something about a wintertime creek that cannot be beat. I really mean that. What a beautiful place to be. Not seeing any framing. There's these bits of shrubbery that kind of point towards. And again, this is kind of the issue with some of this stuff, is what a beautiful scene. I'm glad you could join me for this. But it's really difficult to frame something up, I think. Or I'm just not a very good landscape photographer, but I'm okay. See, I guess also just came from Iceland, basically. It's the last time I had an outing, more or less, so that feels like cheating. I'm really gonna go try something abstract here, and I'm gonna try and focus on this little patch of ice, really this whole thing right here, but particularly right here. The ice has created these beautiful little ripples, and it helps to look down, it helps to look around, it helps to pause right here. I think that's really good. This makes me feel better. Pause, take a look around, If something looks interesting, it's worth taking the 20, 30 minutes to pause. I have time during the day. Just look, and I see these beautiful little ripples of ice down here and sort of to the left here. But really interesting, very abstract, I think. Hopefully with the water you can get some of that across. Okay, that's it. Okay, that one kind of got me. That feels about as wet as it got before, but that is not a fun time if I get stuck in the water. The more time I spend on this trail and slip and get muddy and there's debris everywhere, it makes me realize, as much as I praise and for some reason would recommend this trail to people, it's unmaintained to the nth degree. It's rock Sylvania, there's rocks everywhere, it's swampy, it's muddy, it's a mess, it's confusing. But there's something that's so truly wild about that. It feels unexplored in a sense, but at the same time it's accessible to me. If you end up coming this way for whatever reason, be prepared to get wet, especially in the summer. Watch out for bugs, as much DEET and permethrin as you can stomach on all your clothing. You might get Lyme's disease out of it like I did, but at the same time, there's something about standing out here, whether it's the summer or the winter's a lot nicer, to be honest, and just be able to be outdoors, be next to a beautiful stream, hear the wind, sometimes see a hawk or see footprints of an animal along the trail, and just get totally lost in a really good way. Oh, what? Part of my subject just broke off. Well, this is one of the spots that I was talking about. This big, beautiful, and I'll tell you why. Now, the unfortunate part about this is the snow is burying the roots a little more than I was expecting. So, like everything else in this forest, it might be a little bit distracting or cluttered. So I'm hoping to use some of those big roots as guidelines up to the tree. Find something that brings visual interest, lines up to the tree, that doesn't look like a mess of roots, which is exactly what it looks like. Over here might be a little bit better. And these roots just look awesome. I wish they weren't covered on top in snow. If they were just all perfectly peeking out, that would be amazing. But that is not how life works sometimes. Or most of the time, even. I wish you could tell. I'm not sure you're going to be able to tell these are really roots. But it's cool to revisit. It's a beautiful, beautiful monument to nature. I love the way the roots just pop out of the ground. It always stopped me in my tracks both times that I've been here, and it's doing the same again. I might have one more opportunity on this side with some of these roots, the way they curve up this way. Camera's going to be in it. Well, that's another one down that I don't think I'm too happy with any of the photographs today. It really is hard to know until you get back and take a look, and once you disassociate a little bit. And I want to keep moving because I am a little scared about the daytime. What a monument. Hello, what are you? Hey, we got eastern bluebirds, I think. Are you still here, buddy? You are. Oh, hello. Well, all right. Well, made a friend. And the trail is pretty easy to lose out here. I thought it was messy in the summertime, but... And after quite a few hours on the trail, it was time to take a quick little break at one of my other favorite spots for some lunch. Never mind. I wouldn't want to camp out here. That's brutal. So maybe I'm just getting lonely. I've been out here about 4 hours, but I want to talk to the camera a little bit too and reflect on a little bit of time, I guess. Because, well, the reason I'm out here is the photography is really great, obviously. That's the reason that kind of gets me out the door, I think, in a lot of ways. You know, I was reading about it. I've had a really hard time the last 2 weeks, and I go to a therapist. I'm really fortunate to have a partner that motivates me and wants me to get out there and do things and set goals for the future. And I think that's kind of what I've been missing, and I don't think I'm alone in this, but one thing I kind of do that I have as another half therapist is ChatGPT. Funny enough, if AI ended at the large language models, the text chatbots, I think we'd all be better off. But in the last week, probably, I've really been, this is a term, it's unfortunate that I'm coming back to it, but languishing. I've had a really hard time with dopamine detoxing and getting wrapped up in everything like that. I kind of just downloaded this thing for my phone that turns it super boring. You can change the colors, but that's basically it. It's that, and then every time it opens an app, it tells you to do this, and that's the phone. Every app is just right there, designed to be as boring as possible. That's one thing I've been doing, but I was talking to ChatGPT, and I said, like, I can't think I was saying, like, I keep rotting in bed. I keep getting stuck in bed, and I'm stuck in this loop. But one really interesting thing that it told me to do was, I would feel better if. And that really struck a chord with me, actually. This idea that, basically, kind of this funny idea that I have free will, basically, that I would feel better if I did this. And it kind of made me realize that I'm not taking care of myself in the way that I want to, and the way I think I deserve to and should, really, and need to be able to support myself and my aspirations and the people in my life that are important to me. I do run, I race competitively, I do a lot of things that I think are good for me, but I don't think of it in that way. I do think I neglect myself in ways that I probably didn't even realize. Coming out here is one of those ways that I was able to do that. I would feel better if I did this today. It's been a long time since I've been able to get out here. So I did, and I'm able to, I feel motivated already just getting out here and everything. So just a little note to myself or anyone who's watching that, I don't know, it worked for me, try it for you, that stage it in your mind as I would feel better if. That, and pick a bigger goal in life, I think, something to aspire to and live in the present. Structure yourself in a way that you have a larger goal, but live every moment towards, as if you were aiming towards that goal. So very much live in the present with a future focus. It sounds contradictory, but I don't think it is that much. So I would feel better if. I would feel better if I talked to the camera. I would feel better if I got out here and did this. So I am. So something to think about. I'm also down to my third and final battery because of the cold, I think. So I probably need to get a move on here. And I'm also cold myself and running out of battery. So lunch is done. Going to have a little more water. 1 or 2 more spots along the creek that I want to try and photograph, including right here, potentially. I love this spot. And then we'll be moving. Okay, well, enough sappy nonsense. We're getting back to the photography. This is one of my favorite parts along the trail, as you can see. The way it bends, there's actually kind of a third small stream that comes into here, but you're standing on this, let me rotate the camera a little bit here, but you're standing right on this rock. There's a campsite right behind us. And just this awesome. I love it in the summer too. It looks so different in the winter, which I think is really cool. But this little bend is probably one of my favorite spots. And I'd want to be able to get a good photograph of it. But I think I can use this island in the middle here as a sort of subject. I like the way that the ice also flows, kind of turns directly into this side of it here. Again, it's not the point today. I'm happy to be able to get out here and remind myself of the things I can do and experience and see, and hopefully inspire someone else or you, or just to take you along in the journey is quite a privilege. So cool stuff. You know, I'll probably have my cake and eat it too at some point again, because I love saying videography is harder because it's basically photography with more and more complicated steps. But I have to give credit to landscape photographers, because there's so many beautiful spots, but how do you tell the story of that spot? How do you show how it feels and what it looks like and what it was like to be there in one photograph? I feel like video is easier in that way, actually. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this. Again, I love what I'm doing. I love walking around right now. That's cool. There's like some ice. There's some ice bits doing some cool ice stuff over there, but like, I could try that one, but how do you do it in one photograph? It's difficult, it really is. I'm glad I'm not stopping too much to look around and try every little thing there is, but it's complicated. Now, I was walking by, and the composition I saw is this part of the stream leading out into the woods, frozen part of the stream leading out into the woods, bends away, so foreground fills out to the left, stream runs out to the right. Background, the clouds are starting to roll in a little bit more. This side's a little more blue, but it's starting to get a little more cloudy. So I think I can use this as a foreground element, midground, forest in the background with this shrubland. Oh, I love being able to just walk through all this. I'm probably getting like tick babies on me. They're gonna spawn in my room in the summer or something. I don't know. I don't know how ticks work. I wish they didn't work. Beautiful little spot. If I'm right, we're just about to come up on the campsite that I stayed here the first year. I was camped all by myself, and it was not very fun, to be honest. Nice little big open area. This is kind of the last campsite you can basically stay at. The one reason that wasn't fun is that I basically drank no water. I just plowed through for like 5 hours straight, blasted through, didn't enjoy any of it. Just kind of walked right here because it felt boring to sit at a campsite alone. The problem was I got here, the sun was setting. I had no time to enjoy it. Dehydrated, I could barely eat. But the last part of this, so anyways, got Lyme disease. That was that one too. So good trip, highly recommend this place. But and just a few feet away, and I could hear it all night, which was kind of soothing because it distracted from the idea that there would be black bears with cubs coming after me and my food. I didn't keep the food in the tent, but coming after me. And the next day I was proven right. But as that probably starts to get louder, you can hear one feature that is probably the highlight of this. And I took the very, very long way. But this is Something Falls. This is 8.5 miles in from where we started. So found a pretty cool spot. Just came down the rock outcropping down here to a nice central location along the right at the base of the waterfall there. But the way the light is coming through here, the way that the light is casting through is creating a really nice glow throughout the scene. So I am pretty happy with that currently. You might have to wait another minute for the sun to come out, and that's getting a little more rare as time goes on. I think I'll use this camera since it has the ND filter, and then we'll see what we get. That is probably it for the photography from this hike, but it is definitely not it for the hiking part of the hike. Probably still have about an hour and a half to 2 hours left to hike on, get back on some surface roads and possibly the regular road too, depending on what the trail tells me to do today or what my heart tells me to do today. But leaving the falls behind, and I'll see you guys back at the car. Really looking forward to that coffee. You know what's funny is this is actually one of my favorite little scenes in the area. And it's just driving over the main road. Oh, what a day, what a day. 45 minutes before sunset, we got here 45 minutes after sunrise, so that was a day that fills my cup for sure. Probably not with the photographs. I'll be surprised if there's anything that I'm super happy with from that, but as I said before, that is absolutely not the point of this today. It was just to get out there, get my legs moving. That was probably 12 or 13 miles on the day, I think, a little bit more maybe. And I knew I would feel better if I did. So thank you very much for tuning in. I have a lot to be grateful for, and if you watch this, then you're one of them for sure. Probably not much photography knowledge to be gained from this, but I hope I offered some insight that life's okay sometimes. I gotta tell myself that more, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.